Well, I feel like it's time to get a little bit more personal. So let's start with someone you may have known for a long time on YouTube, and Newgrounds as a matter of fact. He goes by many names. Max Collardi, but he's best known as Hotdiggedydemon. I just like to tell you a little about something. I used to like Hotdiggedydemon's content, but then one day in March of 2021, he released a video about Nintendo Joy-Con drift that really got to me for some reason, because all I did was watch it once and then it kept popping up, and then somehow that struck a nerve inside me that caused me to revile every single piece of animation that Hotdiggedydemon has done. And I basically just come off as an insincere a-hole because of it. Because basically I didn't know Max Gallardi at all. As a matter of fact, I never even spoke to him. So basically, this whole thing was just a big mess. I wasn't paying attention to what Max was doing for years since that point. I did occasionally see him make a new animation here and there as well, but I mainly just kind of dismissed that as some kind of awful person that was a racist and Nazi. Oops, I shouldn't have said that word, but that's what people assumed it would be. So that's why I'm just saying that, be the case. I usually, for weeks on end, I would basically lay in bed feeling depressed by myself because the YouTuber Lemon made a video a couple months later talking about Nintendo and the controversies involving takedown of various different fan properties, which really struck a nerve with me. But ironically enough, Lemon was the one I managed to rewatch some videos for, even before Hotdiggedydemon was even considered to be someone I could at least, understand where he's coming from. What I didn't know was going on is that Hotdiggedydemon was going through somewhat of a redemption arc, as you put it, because he continued his Brain Dump series until 2022, where he made a bunch of self-reflecting videos talking about how he, as a person, was perceived online to the general public as someone who made edgy jokes for the sake of edginess and with no nuance and whatnot. Mainly jokes about African Americans and Jewish people. And that apparently sparked a lot of heat amongst his audience, accusing him of being some kind of neo-fascist that only cared about white supremacy and whatnot. But apparently in one of his videos, talked about, he basically went on a mental breakdown through it, being spoke through his anime avatar, how he receives himself as a person that shouldn't be associated with those type of videos anymore, because he wants to be seen as a person who has changed for the better and not be seen as some kind of racist that hates minorities like Jewish people, African Americans, and Asians. And I can see where he's coming from that because, like I said, we don't know anyone personally here, and there has been cases where he has drawn some very awful artworks of things that, involve racism. Most notably, racist caricatures of Steven Universe designed as a stereotypical Jew and African American and referred to by stereotypical names as well, which really, really cemented the fact that he might have did this because he thought it was funny or not. And apparently he also made a video called "What is Fascism?" in which basically, from what I haven't really seen of it, but I believe it was just basically the final episode of his Brain Dump series before he ended it altogether. And basically that was just him reflecting on what he has been doing, involving, talking about the whole racism and prejudice, and basically the final look back on him as a content creator over more than a decade and whatnot, and how people have perceived them. And the people that have worked on his Brain Up series probably, did this just to have fun and whatnot, and not be taken too seriously and whatnot, because they are very talented people that worked really hard on getting this project out. And everyone else that worked on previous projects also went on to have pretty successful careers as well. As for Max himself, he mainly just does streaming content now, like playing games and whatnot. Although I did see him kind of have a freak out on Twitter at one point, if I'm not mistaken, just just rambling on about various different like weird stuff about like feet and whatnot. I did send him a message on Twitter, but he didn't really get back to me on that. But I understand because this is just, Twitter message, and I was just saying that it's good that he was able to talk about his mistakes through a certain art form of animation and be able to, move past it. I just hope he's doing better now for himself. And yeah, I have seen Twitter posts making light about how he has, put some of those very questionable racial dog whistles in his video, like a big Twitter post that has over 9,000 likes, and then of course those artworks and other things that were associated with him and whatnot. So yeah, he also was able to get a voice role in Shrek 2 with Toll, along with a bunch of other guys you may have heard of course, but that's then there. I just hope Max Gallardi is doing better for himself because I do not know him, and I just hope he gets the help he needs if he needs it. He just, really needs to take it back and just focus on himself and the ones he loves more than anything else. And also, apparently someone is accusing him of being a creep or whatever around women, but I'm not too sure about that. So just for now, I'm just going to say, if that is the case, that's awful. But if it isn't, then shame on that person for accusing him of stuff that probably never even happened. But other than that, that's pretty much what I want to say with this video. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next one because I have a lot to say about this next individual. Thank you. Bye.